Hey, what's going on everyone, this is iReviews back with another video, and today we're talking about iOS 15.4, the biggest update to iOS 15 since iOS 15 has been released to the public. Now of course it brings a lot of new features and changes to iOS, and it's actually coming really soon. So in like a couple of days you will be able to actually install this update on your device. But of course, as with every other update, with this update as well, there are really important things that you need to know before you install iOS 15.4 on your device. So in this video, we will share with you guys 10 facts that you need to know regarding iOS 15.4 before you update. Another fact that you need to know is that most of you guys that watch my videos are currently not subscribed to the channel, so please make sure to do so. It will really help out a lot. And we're starting things off with the size of the update. So of course you need to be prepared for this update because it will be quite big. When I first installed it on my device on beta 1, it came at around 5.5 gigs right here on the iPhone 12 Pro Max. Of course this will always be different based on different devices and based on which current software you have installed on your device. But you can expect this to be quite a big update for your device because of course it will bring a ton of big new features and changes to iOS, and we're going to talk about some of those just in a few seconds here that are really important. So expect this to be quite a big update. As I said, it came around 5 gigs here, which is quite large, so make sure you have enough space on your device before trying to update your device to iOS 15.4. Now with this update being so cool and having so many new features, a lot of people wanted to try this update and of course have installed the beta versions on their device. So what you need to know is how to update to the public release if you have the iOS 15.4 beta installed on your device. First of all, if you have any of the betas from beta 1 up to beta 5 and not the RC version, then you will get actually a public release if you just delete the profile from your device. So if you're from beta 1 to beta 5, then all you have to do is go to settings, go to general, and right here under VPN and device management, make sure you delete this profile and then of course reboot your device. Once you have done this by deleting it here, simply go to the update page right here and you will get a software update here for iOS 15.4. But if you have updated to the RC version, which was released this week on Tuesday, then you won't get a public release at all, because the RC version that Apple has released after their spring event and the final release of iOS 15.4 will basically be the same exact software. So you already have that installed on your device. You don't need to update, and of course you won't see an update right here under the software update page. Now, in my opinion, one of the best features that Apple has brought to iOS in recent years is this one right here, which Apple has finally added to iOS 15 with iOS 15.4, and it is the ability to actually install an update through cellular data. Now, you will have two different options here: the ability to use cellular data, and of course it will completely update through cellular data, download the software update, and of course install it, and also use Wi-Fi. But if you disconnect from the Wi-Fi, it will continue the update through cellular data, and that's really cool. You just have to know that you won't be able to actually update to iOS 15.4 using cellular data. You will be able to do that in next updates, maybe iOS 15.4.1 or any other update that will come after iOS 15.4, because of course you will need to first have iOS 15.4 on your device for this feature to work. Next up, we're talking about one of the biggest features of iOS 15.4. Even though I know it's very late, Apple should have released this a long time ago, but it's finally here and it's actually really good. The ability to actually unlock your device while wearing a mask. Now, you know, Apple sometimes delays different updates and of course different features, but when they release them, they do a great job, and this works really good. It's flawless. You will basically be able to unlock your device without having to wait a second, even though you're wearing a mask. It works really good. But of course, there is bad news for most iPhone users. I believe a lot of people won't actually be able to use this feature because it will only work if you have an iPhone 12 or newer. So iPhone 12, 12 Pro, 12 Pro Max, iPhone 12 mini or newer, those devices will support this feature. If you have an older iPhone, even maybe 11 Pro Max or 11 Pro, you won't be able to actually unlock your device while wearing a mask. The next feature we're talking about is really interesting, and I believe it would be really useful. Now, I did a video on this feature because it was found on the iOS 15.4 code, but it looks like it won't be released with the release of iOS 15.4. Maybe on a future update, on a smaller update of iOS 15, we will see that feature getting released. Now, that's a feature on Safari that will actually allow you to set a custom dark mode for websites. That means that you can just tap right there on the AA button and go to website settings and choose whether you want to enable or not dark mode for that website, or choose light mode or dark mode, no matter which mode you have enabled on your system. So you enable dark mode on your device, but you will be able to actually have light mode all the time on a website that you choose. Now that, as I said, has been found on the iOS 15.4 code, but it's actually not released and it's not here yet. Another great feature that was talked about and was expected to come to iOS 15.4, but it didn't make it, is the ability to enable web-based notifications. So you can basically enable notifications for websites just like you do on your Mac, for example. And that's actually as an experimental feature right here under the experimental WebKit features, which you can find under the settings of Safari on the settings app. It is by default disabled. You can see here push API. So it looks like this feature is actually coming to iOS and it will be very welcomed. But again, it looks like it's not actually coming with iOS 15.4. I know this has been quite popular. A lot of people have talked about this, but unfortunately we won't see this with the release of iOS 15.4. Next, we're talking about something really important, and that's of course battery life. Now, I have been able to actually get quite decent battery life with iOS 15.4. Now, of course, that will change on different days and based on what you use on your device and whether you use Wi-Fi or use cellular, and of course, all that stuff will have quite a huge impact on the battery life. But it has been times where I actually got really great battery life. Like you can see right here, screen on 10 hours, 26 minutes with under 100% of battery life. That was probably like 95, and the battery health is at 92%. So that's really great. So if you're worried about battery life, you don't have to. iOS 15.4 actually offers quite good battery life. Now that of course will always be different based on which device you have and of course the battery health that you have on your device, but on an average device you will have great battery life. Next up, we're talking about a big bug that has been bothering iOS 15 users since the release of iOS 15, and that's a bug right here under the iPhone storage. So you tap on storage right here. Most of the time this will get stuck like this, basically on loading, or it will just take like a few seconds, maybe even minutes to actually load, and sometimes it wouldn't load at all. Now what you need to know regarding iOS 15.4 is that this bug has actually maybe been fixed. Sometimes it just works really good. Sometimes it will stay like this and actually take minutes and maybe not even load at all. Now going through the beta stages of iOS 15.4, I've noticed that on some betas, actually on beta 4, it was really good and I was able to actually load this in like 4 or 5 seconds. Sometimes it's way better, sometimes it just sucks, and of course it stays right there for minutes and sometimes not even load at all. So as like a conclusion, this bug in my opinion hasn't been fixed at all, and of course you should know that before you install iOS 15.4. The next fact you need to know regarding iOS 15.4 is that this will most likely be the last big update to iOS 15. You won't see any big updates with these many features on iOS 15 anymore. Probably we will have some minor updates, of course, fixes, bug fixes and all that, but this is most likely the last big update bringing big new features to iOS 15, because of course in like spring Apple will also release the first beta of iOS 16. That's like 2.5 months from now, something like that. At the beginning of June, you will see iOS 16 beta 1. So of course, Apple will focus more on that, and iOS 15, of course, now with universal control, with Face ID, with mask and all that, got all these cool features. Now it's time to move on to iOS 16, so don't expect any more big features for iOS 15. And last but not least, of course, you should know the release date and time for iOS 15.4, and I believe it will be released in 2 days from now. That's March 14th right there, and you should expect it around 10 a.m. of course Pacific time. That's the usual time when Apple releases software updates. You will be able, of course, to install this using OTA from your device. So March 14th right here, Monday, I believe this is the day that you will see this update coming to your device. If not, then you can expect it on Tuesday, but it will be either 14th or 15th. 90% it will be the 14th. That's the day when you can expect iOS 15.4 to come to your device. So that's basically it for this video, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Leave a like if you did and subscribe for more, and I'll see you on the next one.